Hi students, and welcome to today's live IELTS class. My name is Adrian and I am broadcasting to you from Budapest. Today we are looking at an IELTS academic reading passage taken from our aehelp.com website. So for lots more help, check us out there at aehelp.com. It's academicenglishhelp.com. For general IELTS, check us out at IELTS.com. That's generalieltshelp.com. On both of those websites, we have 6 original practice exams for you. We also have a fully interactive course and over 100 hours of video lessons to help you. Hi Subash, hi Huong, hi Chi Vu, hi Priyav, Napa. Hi, Harminder. Good to see our members joining in nice and early as well. Harminder, I sent you an email to hook you up with those exclusive videos, the video archives. Hope you got that. Okay, students. So if you go to your iTunes or Play Store, you can download our app. Look for our logo. Search for Academic IELTS Help. Some goodies there for you. On our website, you can find speaking partners for practice. On Amazon, you can find our books. AE helps academic IELTS, GE helps general IELTS. If you have questions, comments, concerns about our products or about IELTS, don't be shy. Send me an email, adrian@aehelp.com. That's my name, at aehelp.com. Hi, Rahul. Good to see some more members coming in. All right, students, our schedule is this time, 15 to 16 o'clock Central European Time, Wednesday to Saturday, okay? That's why today you see reading strategy. Tomorrow we will look at a task 2 sample question, open question. And on Saturday it will be a members chat class. Members, remember to request classes. Hi, Aigul. Remember to request a class. Hi, Rekha. Good to see more members coming in. All right, here's our following week's classes. Again, these are up on our community bulletin, so you can check that out. Our websites, they look like this. This is the Academic IELTS website. Click that big red button to join it and increase your band scores. For general IELTS, green background, click that to join it and increase your band scores. Now, let's take a peek at today's reading passage. This is reading passage 2 taken from our 3rd exam. So this is exam book 1 for those of you who have our books. And this is passage 2. Okay, so more difficult than passage 1. Maybe not as difficult as passage 3. So today we are going to focus on these list of headings questions. I know that 2 of the most challenging types of questions for many students are list of headings and true, false, not given. So we'll look at the list of headings questions and maybe even get into a true, false, not given. Now, here is the title of today's passage. Why study philosophy? Okay, and then we have a picture of a statue here of a famous philosopher. I believe it's Socrates, the philosopher. So students, when you see the picture, when you see the title, think about it. Think about what, why, how. Savage, Gopi, 5.5 in reading is not bad. Hopefully today's lesson will help you improve. Rekha says, yeah, so we got to think about, well, it's talking about the importance of philosophy. Okay, so think about what is philosophy? Why is it important? How does it work? What is philosophy, students? What is this science or father to science? Okay, it's often quoted as the father of science is philosophy. So what is philosophy? Anybody know? It's a good question. Everybody should have some idea of what philosophy is, since all sciences eventually come from our philosophical roots, let's say. Aigul says it's knowledge of life and reality. Rekha says it's a deep understanding of a particular matter. Sevgi agrees. It's a deep thinking on an issue. Absolutely. Kisi, Zhang says, what is the meaning of life? Hi, Kisi. So the big questions, right? Why are we here? What's the purpose of life? What's the origin of life? What makes us unique as humans? So these grand questions. Vikram says it's mysticism, but in fact it's better said, Vikram Jha, as the unraveling of mysticism. So figuring out the mysteries, right? Yeah, all science comes from philosophy. So good. So you're thinking about that. Why is it important? So now you've given me some good information, students, on what philosophy is. Why is philosophy important? Why should we pay attention to this? Why is it still a very popular university major? There are students who major in philosophy. I have a very, very good friend who has a double master's in philosophy. So why is that? Okay, good luck, Aman, on your exam. MD Abul, I'm not sure if this, I think the sound problem is maybe just on your end, if nobody else is reporting that. Burfaram Ishmahain says it's very interesting to study philosophy. Yeah, but why? So why is it interesting? Okay, Aigul, that's a nice answer. So Aigul says that it helps to solve problems and understand the nature of things. Yep, Aigul, I agree with you. So said in a simple way, philosophy is important because it helps us to understand who we are and the world around us. Okay, so philosophy helps us understand who we are and the world around us. How? How do we do that? Okay, how does philosophy pursue the understanding of the world and the world around us? Okay, while you come up with some answers for the how, I'll just make a couple notes here. So philosophy is the pursuit of greater truths, like the meaning of life. Why do we learn it? It helps us to understand who we are and the world around us. And how do we do that? Okay. Aigul, that's very clever. Aigul, I'm wondering at this point if you have some experience learning about philosophy, because you're giving me some really good answers. Through observation, absolutely. For us, yeah, definitely. Philosophy looks at all sciences, so math, biology, physics, certainly, all of those, chemistry. So by observing the world around us through logic, through discourse, through argument, okay? So just visualize, picture these philosophers, Plato, Socrates, and they're arguing among themselves, trying to understand what are the great truths and the answers to the great mysteries of life. So, great. This is definitely a passage where it would be a really bad idea to just start reading without going through these kinds of ideas first. Interestingly, philosophizing about philosophy. So if you just started to read, it could be really confusing and quite difficult. Why? Why is this reading passage more difficult than, say, reading about tigers, or reading about the Himalayan mountains, or reading about lasers? So why is this passage going to be more difficult than something like reading about tigers? Sevgi, very good. Yeah, absolutely. Sevgi Rabia says, because it's not visual, it's hard to see, right? We're talking about philosophy. Syed Yassar, absolutely. You have the perfect answer. It's abstract, it's not concrete. So keep this in mind, students, that it's always a good idea to critically think about the title before you begin reading. So it's always a very good idea to predict and use critical thinking, asking what, why, and how before you begin reading. Especially when the topic is abstract. Okay? It's not visual. Or concrete, as in this case. Okay? Absolutely. So going head first into an abstract topic like why study philosophy would be a really bad idea if you're not spending a little bit of time thinking about this. All right, good. So we did that. We thought about it. We visualized it. Now we look at the questions. And the first set of questions is a list of headings type question. Okay. Now, list of heading types question. Should I read this before I read the passage? So should I read these options before I read the passage? Hopefully. So let's talk strategy for a list of headings. Okay. It's our focus here. So list of headings question strategy. Okay, yeah, I see a lot of yeses. That's fantastic. Absolutely. Yeah, read this. There's a reason why they give it to you before the passage, because they want you to read it before the passage. So yes, read these. Yes, read this question before the passage. That is why the IELTS presents it to you before the passage. It's the only question like this. Okay? Every other question type is given to you after the passage, because according to the IELTS, for the other questions, you maybe shouldn't even read them till after you're done reading the passage. Okay? So it's a very logical reason that the IELTS exam shows you this question before the passage, because they want you to read it before the passage. Okay, so read it before the passage. What should you do when you're reading this question before the passage? So what should you do when reading these question, or this question, before the passage? Rinshin says follow keywords. Nope, that's not going to help you much, Rinshin, keywords. Sevgi says paraphrase it. Yeah, that's why, Rinshin. The keywords will not help you. They will actually confuse you and give you wrong answers often, because these are always paraphrased. So there's a very good chance that the choices, the words that you see in the choices, are nowhere in the paragraph, because they're paraphrased. So absolutely, yeah, you want to paraphrase this, right? So paraphrase the choices as much as possible. At home, you want to do that on paper. And during the exam, in your head. Okay, you don't have time in the 20 minutes to try to paraphrase on paper, so you do it in your head. But definitely do it in your head. Just do it quickly, okay? All right, so let's do that. Let's take a look at this. Reasons as the basis for knowledge. What's another way to say that? Let's enlarge that a bit for you. So, reasons as the basis for knowledge. How can I say that in my own words? What can I do? Okay, anything that comes to mind. Doesn't have to be perfect. Grammar doesn't have to be perfect. Just some synonyms, expressions. Description is a really good idea with list of headings. So descriptive paraphrasing, describing it in your own words. Yeah. So Al-Nur says motives for knowledge. Motives is good. For reasons, sure. Instead of basis, there's some other words. Let's see if anybody's come up with that. Instead of basis, what's another way to say basis? Hopefully some of you are thinking foundation. Okay, motives as the foundation for knowledge or ideas or idea. Okay, those are good. Causes as the foundations for knowledge. Rahul Singh is a good one. Armin Krasnov. Grounds, fantastic. The root, Sue 41, 210. That's a good one as well. Absolutely. The root. The roots of knowledge. Okay. So at home, write them down so you're quickly able to do this in the actual IELTS exam. Okay. So at home, write it down so that you can paraphrase quickly. Okay. The relation between reason and math. The relation, let's do one more here, okay? The relation between reason and math. Okay, what's another way to say that? Another way to say connection or link, as Amin Isayev said, so connection. The reason we're paraphrasing, students, is because often you will find these words in the paragraph and not the actual words that you see there. So the connection between logic, Armin, very good. The connection between logic. There is another way to say math as well, students. Anybody know a different word for math? Maybe some math majors out there? The relation here is, the reason is not cause here. Logic is much more accurate to the word reason than the word causality, okay? Statistics is a type of math. Pekjabin, there's a more accurate word. I still don't see it. Numerics is the numbers used in math. Calculation, Armen, is somewhat closer. There's actually a perfect synonym for the word mathematics. There's actually two very distinct ways to say it. Rekha, it's not aptitude, but you're close. Okay, the word that I'm looking for is arithmetic. Okay. Arithmetic. Oh, there we go. Stefano. Very good. Yeah, arithmetic is another way to say math. So connection between logic and arithmetic. All right? That's another way. All right, so again, at home, you go through step by step. We're not going to do it for every option here, but you go through and you paraphrase. Now, in the official IELTS, you don't have time to do it with a pencil, so you just do it mentally, right? So the end goals of empirical pursuits, so the final achievements of visually or seeing science. Is Socrates a man or a mortal? Is Socrates a guy or a human? Philosophy as the pursuit of knowledge and truth. Philosophy as trying to figure out logic, ideas, and reality, math versus reason, arithmetic against logic, how are they unique, using the right tool, applying the correct methodology. So I'm just going along here, students, and showing you how my brain is quickly paraphrasing these topics, okay? Again, at home, practice this over and over again, all right? So you go through all of them like that, paraphrase as much as possible, and that will give you a much better chance of getting the correct answers. Okay, so that's your step one. Now, here's an important question. When we read a paragraph, the paragraph includes a topic sentence. Usually the topic sentence answers the what question, so what the paragraph is about. The paragraph includes an explanation, so why that topic is presented, and it includes some examples or how this idea is represented or how it works. That's how you should structure, by the way, your body paragraphs in your task 2. You probably made that connection as I said that, many students who watch this. So when we have a body paragraph like this one, we have a topic sentence that talks about the what. We have the body center here, which talks about the explanation, and then maybe some examples at the end, right? Okay, this list of headings question, which part of the paragraph is it focusing on? Is it focusing on the what, the why, or the how? So is it focusing on the explanation, the example, or the topic? What is it focusing on? Okay, so this is another important point here for this right strategy to do these questions well and get most of them, if not all of them, correct. Okay, it is not focusing on the example, Timur. It is not focusing on the why, Syed. That's how you make mistakes, okay? Dakshil, yeah, absolutely. Chowdhury, it's the topic. It's the what question, okay? So this question, list of headings, is asking you to identify the topic of the paragraph. So the what question. Okay, that's what it's asking you to do. Careful, don't go for the examples or the explanations. You will get it wrong, no question, okay? Think about it this way. When you have an essay, then you have a title that's for the whole essay. So this title, Why Study Philosophy, that's for the whole essay. That's for all of the paragraphs together, okay? Now, each paragraph on its own is like a mini essay, okay? So this is like a little mini essay, and it has a title, just like the whole essay. Okay, your goal here is to figure out that little title that's for each paragraph, okay? Body paragraphs are fairly straightforward because usually it's the first one or two sentences. The introduction is much more difficult. The introduction and conclusion requires a more global understanding to figure out the topic or the what, okay? So don't worry, by the end of this class, students, you'll have a really clear idea. You'll be like, oh yeah, okay, I get this. All right, so the reason that you want to do a good job with the list of headings questions is because they will help you with the other questions in the passage, okay? Keep this in mind. So by doing a good job with list of headings, your answers will help you with the other questions for the passage. So whether it's multiple choice or true, false, not given, you will be helped by having the correct answers here. Okay, now here's the last point, also very important, so it's no less important than the others. This is the only question type that you should answer after each paragraph. Okay? So what you need to do, okay, this is what you need to do. Just follow these steps and you'll do a great job when you get this question on your next IELTS, and you actually won't hate it. You'll actually learn to like this kind of question because you'll be like, oh, okay, I get it, I know how to do it, and it's going to help me, so I'm picking up points. Okay, so do this. Okay, read a paragraph. Literally ask this, like nice and loud. When you're doing this at home, nice and loud, ask yourself, what is this paragraph about? And then answer it. Okay, so then give the answer. Okay. And find the closest match in the choices. So let's do this now. We'll do this together, okay? I'll walk you through this this passage, and we'll do it together. So read with me. Here we go. Remember, the focus here is, what is this paragraph about? All right? That's what we're focusing on. So here we go. There are two schools of thought when it comes to education. One side believes that education should give students tools for success in life, while the other side believes that education itself is an important goal. No area of study brings this debate to a head more than the study of philosophy. Philosophy, for those who belong to the practical side of the debate, is an utter waste of time. Philosophy provides very few tools for success in life, they say. A common question for someone studying philosophy is, what are you going to do with it? Those on the other side of the debate, those who value education for knowledge itself, can see that the study of philosophy has many important benefits. Okay, so let's ask this question. What is this paragraph about? Okay, so here's our example. What is the introductory paragraph about? What's your answer? Give me a nice full sentence answer. What is this about? Stefano says the purpose of philosophy, but I don't think so, Stefano. I think you're inferring too much because it hasn't really told us that clearly yet. Michael Levena says people's view of philosophy. That's better. Amin says differences between two groups of thought. So, yeah, different perspectives on the value of learning philosophy. Right? So I would say that that's probably the most accurate. The more accurate your answer to your what question, the better chance you will have to get that correct. Okay? It's not just an introduction to philosophy, Sue. It's saying, hey, there's some people that say philosophy is a waste of time if that's what you're studying. And there's other people that say, well, if you want to learn knowledge for the sake of knowledge, philosophy is valuable, right? So different perspectives on the value of learning philosophy. That's what I would say. Tina says, yeah, 2 points of view on learning philosophy. That's pretty good. All right, so now let's match that up. Let's see if any of those choices are close to this. So let's look through it. Reasons as the basis for knowledge, meh. The relationship between, there's nothing about math. The end goals of empirical pursuits, meh. Is Socrates man or mortal? I don't know. Philosophy as the pursuit of knowledge and truth, meh, maybe. Math versus reasons, the differences, using the right tool. A central debate in education. The lack of practicality as philosophy's downfall. The value of education and practice. Purity as beauty. Okay, what do you think? Which one would you choose is the closest? Okay. So Stefano says, I think it's a central debate in education. So people are arguing that, hey, philosophy is valuable, and people are arguing that it's not valuable. So Layla agrees, Begzod agrees. I would agree as well, right? The word education comes up, not really as education, but as the word school. And it's saying that some people think this, other people argue that, right? So 8 seems to be the best choice here, okay? So I'm going to indicate in Roman numerals 8. Please don't use the Arabic numerals for these questions. So I'm going to indicate 8, and I will move on to the next question. Do not cross it out, okay? Do not cross it out because you might have made a mistake and you want to keep that option open. So it's not a good idea to cross out answers, all right? Let's keep going. Here we go. B, read with me. You can see that? Yeah. Okay, good. The word philosophy derives from the Greek word for love of wisdom, just as it was in ancient Greece. It is those people who love wisdom, knowledge, and the truth who study philosophy. However, we do not live in ancient Greece, where people had slaves to do all of their chores, such as working in the fields. So what place does philosophy have in today's society? So what is this paragraph about? What is paragraph B about? Sevgi says, defining the purpose of philosophy. Yeah, absolutely, Sevgi. I think you're on the right track. So, defining the purpose of, or the utility of, I would say is even maybe better, utility of philosophy in modern times, right? Yeah, an explanation of philosophy. So that's what we're talking about. Absolutely. I can't read that Cyrillic name. You had a good message up there before you pulled it back. I thought that was quite clever, so too bad you deleted it. Sue says the derivation of philosophy. Sue, that's the right approach as well. Nice vocabulary. Absolutely. Okay, so let's see which choice matches that idea. Okay. So reasons as the basis for knowledge, the relation between reason and math, the end goals of empirical pursuits, I don't know about that. Is Socrates a man or a mortal? Philosophy as the pursuit of knowledge and truth, perhaps. Maths versus reason, the differences. Using the right tool, a central debate in education. The lack of practicality as philosophy's downfall. The value of education and practice, purity as beauty. So which one do you think is the best answer? So you're saying that philosophy as the pursuit of knowledge and truth, so the purpose of philosophy, it's got to be 5. There seems to be quite an agreement that it's 5. Maybe the lack of practicality as philosophy's downfall looks pretty good too. I agree, Igul. So let's just go with the majority for this one for now. Okay, so let's go with 5. And let's go on to C. Now, what you can do when you're doing this is if you think there are 2, so you think, maybe it could be the lack of practicality as philosophy's downfall, you could do this. You could put that into brackets. This is a neat trick for this type of question. So you know this is your first choice, this is your second choice. And as you go along and figure out the other ones, it will often become clear which one is the better choice, okay? So let's just keep going, and we'll come back to that and make sure that we have the right answer. Let's look at paragraph C. Okay? So here we go. Let me just bring that down a bit. Okay. If philosophy teaches anything, it teaches the ability to reason. With reason, one can construct, analyze, and find faults in arguments. For example, if all men are mortal and Socrates is mortal, is Socrates a man? What if we change the question to, if all men are mortal and Socrates is a man, is Socrates mortal? Once a student is schooled in the ability to reason, he will see right away that these two questions are very different. As it turns out, the first is an invalid argument, while the second is very much valid. Perhaps the next question of the skeptic is, what is the value of reason? This is a very important question. Surely, if philosophy is about learning to reason, then an ability to reason must be a valuable trait. Arguably, the ability to reason forms the foundation for all knowledge. Okay? So, what is this paragraph about? What is this paragraph about? Okay? That's the question. Don't give answers. Don't jump to the answers. Think about the question. Okay? So let's go to what is paragraph C about? Give me a full sentence answer. It is about the what? Yeah, very good, Armin. So Armin Krashnov says it's about the significance or the value of reasoning. Yeah, Amar Deep, very nice. Rahul, good. The value of reason. Careful with logic, right. So it is about the value of reasoning in knowledge as a basis for knowledge. Okay? So let's see if any of our choices match with that. So if I hop back here, do any of these match as reason is valuable for knowledge, for understanding knowledge? Number 1, reason as the basis for knowledge. Yeah, that looks pretty good. It's almost word for word what I just wrote up there. Relations between reason. By the way, if it's pretty much word for word, that's like almost 100% guarantee that you have that right. Okay? That's the absolute best situation to be in, where what you're giving as the answer to the what question matches verbatim to the choice, right? Is Socrates man or immortal? This is wrong. Why is this one wrong? Why is the is Socrates man or immortal wrong? That's definitely wrong. I know for sure it's not this one. Okay? Anybody know why? So it clearly looks like number 1 is going to be my right answer here. Yeah, Sevgi says it's just an example. it's not the main information. It's not the heading for the paragraph. Absolutely. This is just an example, okay? It's not what the paragraph is about. It's just how it works, okay? This is the reason, students, that you can't just be searching for keywords. If you're like, oh, I saw the word Socrates in there, and I saw the word mortal in there, and I saw in fact, I saw this whole, it must be this one. No, you just got it wrong, okay? You just lost a mark, and that 1 point there could be the difference between a 6.5 and 7, especially when you get into the higher marks. It will definitely be the difference between an 8.5 and a 9, okay? So this paragraph is talking about reason as the basis for knowledge, okay? So reason as the basis for knowledge. So we're going to put that. Okay. For C, number 1. So there we go, number 1. Okay. Reasons is the basis for knowledge. Great. Now, finally, we have an example here for paragraph D. It says 7, so you know that none of the other ones will be number 7. I'm happy to see that nobody chose 7 for any of these ones because that's given in the example. You should read the example. The example will show you that you're thinking correctly, okay? So let's read that. And of course, you should always read the full passage anyway. Let's read D together. Okay, read nice and loud with me, students. Let's read together. Let's read nice and loud. This is also some reading, listening, comprehension practice for you, okay? So follow with me. If an individual holds an opinion which is believed wrong or incorrect, it could be important to convince them of the right opinion. There are a number of ways to attempt this. They can be intimidated, belittled, or bullied into accepting the opposite opinion. However, having a strong opinion does not mean the opinion is any more correct. Many people have strong opinions on all manner of subjects, but, of course, strength of feeling does not correspond to validity, and it follows that someone who belittles another's opinion is not necessarily the one in the right. When two men engage in a fist fight over whose opinion is correct, the winner of the fight may not have the correct opinion, but merely the correct fighting technique. In any disagreement, the right tools must be employed. In a battle of brawn, the tool is strength. In a battle of wills, the tool is perseverance. In a battle of words, the tool is reason. When arguing with reason, facts of the matter are stated and conclusions are drawn from those facts accordingly. What is this paragraph about? It's arguably about using the right tool for the job, right? If you're in a fist fight, it's strength. If you're in a battle of logic, it's going to be reason. It's going to be using your words. So here, the answer is right tools for the job. Here we are using the right tool. It is number 7, and that is the example that's given for you. Number 7. So you know you're doing it correctly, okay? You know you're taking the right steps to get the correct answers, all right? Okay, let's go on to paragraph E. So here we go. Reason is fundamental to almost every intellectual endeavor one can imagine, just as mathematics is fundamental to almost every scientific endeavor. Maths is the language of science, just as reason is the language of discourse and debate. Accordingly, just as society needs experts in mathematics, so society needs experts in reason. The argument should follow that as we all learn mathematics as children, and young adults, so we should learn the precepts of reason. What is this paragraph about? So Amin says math and reason. Yeah. It's a comparison between math and reason, or a connection between math and reason. Yeah. Math versus reason, I don't know if it's opposites or if they're against each other. It's more a connection between math and reason. Nidhi Karti and Gabriel Albani agree with me on that, so that it's the connection between math and reason, or the relationship between math and reason, Syed. Absolutely. Let's take a look if we have any options which say the connection or the relationship between math and reason. Reasons as the basis for knowledge, the relation between reason and math. Hey, that looks word for word accurate. Math versus reason, the differences. So is it this one or is it this one? Is it an opposite or is it a similarity? You have to be very careful here, right? Clearly this one is a similarity. It's not an opposite. Okay, so again, don't lose marks just jumping to conclusions. High IELTS band scores, they happen up here, not on the piece of paper behind me. Okay, IELTS is a test of thinking, especially the academic IELTS. That's why there's academic IELTS and there's general IELTS, because it's testing your thinking for university, not just your English skills, okay? There are many schools around the world. A university in the US or Canada doesn't know exactly how and what they teach, so they use IELTS to help them filter, all right? So 2 definitely seems like the better choice, okay? All right, so for paragraph E, we put in 2, stick with it, and then we move on. One more paragraph to go, paragraph F. Let's do it, ladies and gents. Here we go. Paragraph F. Above all, philosophy is pure. Certainly, reason is useful in all areas of life, but that does not mean that philosophy's value lies only in its usefulness in the day-to-day. Philosophy is the pursuit of knowledge for the sake of knowledge. There's a beautiful human quality expressed in this. Every other academic discipline is knowledge for some empirical pursuit. For example, engineering is knowledge so that we can construct buildings. Chemistry is knowledge so that we can make drugs. And biology is knowledge so that we can stay healthy. Philosophy has no tangible outcome outside of the pure pursuit of knowledge. The only other discipline which comes close to this regards is mathematics. One is purity in numbers, and the other is purity in words. This is the conclusion. The conclusion, you have to understand the whole paragraph to figure out what it's about. What is this paragraph about, ladies and gents? Begzad says, I think it's purity. Yeah, so purity of philosophy, the pure beauty of philosophy, something like that. So what is paragraph F about? It is about the purity of philosophy, or purity in philosophy. Sure. If I take what a few of you students are saying, Suraz Khan, it is the purity as the beauty in the study of philosophy. Right? So again, you want to really, and this that's why I decided to just write one more down like this, students. I want to show you that you really want to give a very clear answer. So make your answer complete and clear when you're doing this. All right? So purity as the beauty in the study of philosophy. Let's see if any of these choices match to what I just said. Okay, so here we go. The reason as the basis for knowledge. The relationship, nope. The end goals, I saw the word empirical pursuits, but I don't think that's what it was about. Philosophy as the pursuit of knowledge and truth. I use that one, and I'm not sure about that. So math versus reason, using the right tool. A central debate, I use that one. The lack of practicality, the value of education and practice. Purity as beauty. Okay, that one is really close. Purity as beauty in philosophy is all that it's missing. So I might as well go with number 11. It's almost a verbatim match. Absolutely. So let's get it in there. XI. Now, here, I didn't choose this one or this one for any other paragraphs. So what I'm going to do, if I have time, is go back and read it again and make the choice of 5 or 9. If I don't have time, if I'm running out of time, I already spent 16 minutes to do this reading, and I know I have some more questions, I'm just going to go with my main choice and leave it. But if I have time in my 20 minutes, I can reread that paragraph, and you should do it before you read the next questions. If you have like 5 minutes at this point, you might want to do that again. So read paragraph B and make your mind up between 5 and 9. So let's look at paragraph B one more time. The word philosophy derives from the Greek for love of wisdom. Just as it was in ancient Greece, it is these people who love wisdom, knowledge, and truth who study philosophy. However, we do not live in ancient Greece, where people had slaves to do all their chores, such as working in the fields. So what place does philosophy have today? Okay, so definitely it's a love of wisdom and the truth who study philosophy. Number 5, philosophy as the pursuit of knowledge and truth. That looks really accurate. Okay, number 9, the lack of practicality as philosophy's downfall. It doesn't talk about the downfall of philosophy. There's no information on that. So that does not look to be complete, okay? Or it looks to be too much information. So I'm going to stick with it. So let's have a look then at the answer key. Okay, so our answers are 8, 5, 1, 2, and 11. Let's see how we did. Okay, let's take a look at the answer key, which of course is always in the back of your book. Here we go, students. 225. Boom. Okay, and this is coming from, okay, there we go. So let's have a look. Here are the answers in the answer key. Let's enlarge that a little bit. There we go. Okay, 14 is 8. Hey, look at that. Correct. 15 is 5. Good job, students. 16 is 1. Well done. 17 is 2. And 18 is 11. Perfect score. That's how you do list of headings, okay? It is what the paragraph is about, paraphrased, using synonyms, descriptions, and your critical thinking, your processor. Do that, you'll do great, okay? And these questions, again, will help you with the other questions in the passage, all right? I'll show you the remaining questions in the passage. Let me just jump back here to the passage. Just give me a moment. Okay, so here we go. Here are questions 19 to 24. Okay, let me just do a full screen mode there for you. So this is a summary completion. Definitely the list of headings will help you with this. Here are the choices for this summary completion. Okay. So you can read that on your own time. Again, remember this video is recorded, so you can check this out later. And then here are some multiple choice questions for 25 and 26. Okay, those are the multiple choice questions. I don't have time for the summary completion and multiple choice questions, but you can do those ones for homework. Send me your answers by email and I'll give you the answer key. I'll let you know how you did. Okay? Any questions, students, about list of headings questions? So any questions about what I showed you today, about this strategy, about list of headings, what to do, what not to do? Any questions about that? Okay, while you're thinking of your questions, again, just a quick review of the list of headings strategy and what we talked about today. Remember, you should always read the title, predict, use your critical thinking, especially when you have a topic for the passage like philosophy, which is abstract. It's not visual. It's not concrete. Okay? Remember, for list of headings, read these before you read the passage. You answer these questions as you read each paragraph. At home, paraphrase the choices on paper. On the official exam, paraphrase them in your head before you begin reading. Syed says it could be a little bit time-consuming. Not if you practice at home and you do it quickly, okay? So if you practice this strategy at home, it will be very fast, and you don't need a lot of time for the other questions because you have a really good idea of the passage, okay? Huang Fan, you have to paraphrase as best as you can, but definitely don't spend a lot of time doing it, okay? List of headings, you do it while you read, Duckshield. So when you have a list of headings question, then the list of headings and the passage together, reading it should take you about 14, 15 minutes. That's a good question, okay? So that was a good question by Duckshield. So how long should I take if I have this list of headings question, okay? So if you are answering list of headings questions, the questions and reading the passage together should take a maximum of 15 minutes. So leave 5 minutes for the remainder or the other questions. Okay. Sue 41210 says, reliable IELTS practice books, please. Sue, my best answer to you is go to our website, join the full course, and use the interactive full course there. It's over 400 slides of reliable, valuable strategy for each question type in the reading, each question type in the listening. Practice for you right there. It's interactive, so it's much more effective than just a paper book. So that's what I recommend you do, okay? Again, for academic IELTS, it's this blue background. Click that big red button to join it. Spend a couple dollars. Save yourself hundreds of dollars so you don't have to sit the IELTS exam again. Sevgi says, should we ask what, why, how questions to every passage, not just the what question? Yes, Sevgi, absolutely. When you're practicing at home and you're improving your reading comprehension, you should always go through the what, why, how for each paragraph and for the whole passage as well, okay? If you can't answer those questions, you don't know what you're reading, even if you understand it, okay? So very good question. General IELTS students, go to this website, gieltshelp.com, click that red button to join us there. Thank you so much, students, for hanging out with me and watching today. Tomorrow we have a task 2 open question essay example we'll work through in class. Okay. I wish all of you a fantastic rest of your day. If it's late in your country, then get some good rest. Wake up full of energy tomorrow and make a day of it. Much love to all of you. Bye for now.